Here we go. Here we go. Say, what's up, Claus? I see you, Black. I definitely apologize about all this because, like I said, I. Funny thing is, this is what I was trying. What I was trying to do. I had I had it set up right here in my live. Yeah, like that. But I set it up from my phone. But I thought I could still go into my laptop, and bring it up, and it did show up on my laptop, but it wouldn't let me in for some reason. So I don't know what that was all about. So I don't know. So much for trying to I call myself trying to pre-plan it. So I don't know. Till I can figure. So I'm probably just gonna have to do it like I have been doing until I can maybe figure out how that how it works more. Maybe like I probably later might try to test it out. Um, Maybe like to see how to get into that there. Might even get with EJ maybe because I think he's done it like this before. That's what I was trying to do, like what he did once there. Mm, Okay, but anyway, all that aside, there but we're here though, so at least that's good. Like I say, good. I'm glad you're still standing there, Claus. And this thing is, and I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I got say because it's kind of humid. It may I don't know the temp may have dropped down a little bit, but it's been kind of humid. I was kind of that's why I got my little towel here that I was sweating earlier. So I got a fan in here. So if y'all hear something going, oh, that's my fan going. Yeah. So yeah. Hope y'all can still hear me over the fan there. Yeah. Hope like I said. Hope everybody else can come in. So we're about to go into reading this right here, the first book of the Yumeko series. I actually got three of them. A weak tornado across the street. Okay, and that's I've actually we've had I'm down here which I'm pretty sure EJ is probably or EJS has probably told you he probably said that in the stream, but me and him we're both here from Shreveport. We've had some tornadoes. I have not like seen them in person, but I know that they have come through this area. They had like the news, like we've had tornado warnings. One I've seen the damages of what tornadoes have done here and in Boulder City. That's not too far from Shreveport. Like pretty much like 20 minutes away from here. Is and sometimes it's like even that I think like in sort of the upper part of Shreveport. Because I remember driving down, taking my wife to work, and I drove down like the big roads and stuff coming to my job, and I saw like lights put out and everything. The power was out. I mean, it was just like dark on the street. Ooh. And yep, up and it got a like good. Listen, so, hello to the second person that's joined the stream. Y'all, y'all say hi, say hello. Like Three Stooges, hello. So yeah, but yeah, Claus. Like I said, I haven't seen it in person, but I have seen we've had tornadoes there, and I've seen damages of tornadoes, um, the after effects of them. Yeah, and then some pretty rough ones too. Matter of fact, my grandparents drove through a tornado once. I think, like you mentioned, a weak tornado. So I think it must have been a weak one because it didn't pick them up or anything. But they was on their way from church. Just as they got home, like about a block away from their house, drove right through a tornado there. So yeah, we yeah, it been some tornadoes in this area and all and around this area. So yeah, they've been here. So, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just hadn't seen them in person, but I know, but I've seen, say, yeah, man, I've experienced them outside the house and stuff, you know. So yeah, so like I say, yeah, pretty rough there. Um, so yeah, like I was saying, yeah, we got three of these there. Like I said, we're gonna read the first one today. And then, like I said, the next stream Thursday will be it'll be the second one. Hiko's Magical Time Arises, and probably all depends. Either I would say probably next week, because like I said, I don't really because Saturday's gonna be kind of busy for me. But probably next week, be looking at the third book, old Star Striker done in his cape and cowl. That'll be next week. Yeah, he'll got the likeness of EJS there. Mhm. Yeah, but like I said, but tonight we're gonna have Brownie to the rescue. Yeah, as you can see, yeah, that's as you can see whose likeness this one is on here. Ooh, yeah, and I do have some more. Yeah, Edwin Reed. He read a that was actually from 2017. The book he was reading from, I wrote that was my first comic series from 2017. So that was a different version of Star Striker. You know how you got like different versions of Spider-Man, stuff like that, the multiverse and all that. That is something that I do plan to touch upon in the Yumeko series. Yeah, something called the Striker Verse. So yeah, he was reading a different version, but yeah, that will get a mention in much later in this series. That will get a mention. Mm-mm. So yeah, the matter of fact, the Star Striker that's in this series um is that real name is Samuel Lee Princeton. He's that's in this series. Yeah, like I say, it's a different version of him. But he actually, like I say, he's actually kind of hanging around this character. He's hanging around this character of mine, Hiko. Two of them are kind of buddies there, sort of like how me and EJ are in real life. And after experiencing the world of Yumiko, he decides he wants to become Star Striker in this universe. So yeah, but that yeah, but it all starts, of course, with good old Brownie here, and I got plans for him in for Brownie here in book number 4. So yeah, we're going into this here. That's that's another little picture there. Yeah, it's actually just a full straight now, but there's just a few pictures in there, not a whole lot of pictures. Just like at the beginning and at the end of the book. We got Brownie again there, the title. Yep. And of course, what it says on the back before I start the story, it says, "Welcome to the world of Yumiko, a world unlike our own. It is the manifestation of the dream and imagination and various people throughout time. The story begins with Brownie B. Brown, the best firefighter and hero of Barnhart City. Despite his little adventures before, he's about to embark on a big one when he's called to rescue some children who have wandered into the dangerous supermarket called Cola Mart. Find out what happens and what unknown evils are about to arise." Give this to your child. Yes. How old is he? How old is your kid? Is he like or say you have like a son, a daughter? They how old are they? So perfect. They the perfect age. Perfect age. They at that age. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's the perfect age. Perfect age. Pretty much like pretty much you know how when you watch have you ever seen like a TV show that say TV7? Yeah, this is what I would consider the age for my books, like 7 and above there. So yeah, He's perfect for it. Yep. So 7 years old. And matter of fact, the main two of the main characters in this story, especially the human characters, they are 7. All right, good. It's a I definitely I'll put in the Discord. I'll try to get the link to my PayPal. I'll put it in Discord after the stream there. And we because I yeah, I know that's I do take PayPal there. Yep. All right. So we got chapter 1. Welcome to you. Oh wait, it's okay, it's Hiko. Welcome to Yumeko, exclaimed Hiko to his best friend Samuel. The young boys looked around in amazement at the beautiful sights to behold. I can't believe this is real, said Samuel. But how is it real? And how was it created? Hiko began explaining. Well, my big papa told me that Yumeko is the manifestation of the dreams and imagination of various people throughout time, mostly children like us. Nobody knows exactly how long this world has been in existence. All we do know is that sometime after God's creation of the human race, everyone developed their own ideals and dreams and imagination. This resulted in the creation of all kinds of myths and fairy tales. Then, once technology was introduced, people had dreams of and ideals of various futures involving the advancements of their technology and what was beyond time and space. The people grew more the more people grew in their dreams and imagination, the more real Yumiko became, along with other worlds and other universes, creating a multiverse. Like Yumiko, some of those worlds have magical creatures and beings such as anthropomorphic animals, fairies, unicorns, ogres, elves, leprechauns, merpeople, magicians, mythic warriors, dragons, space aliens from other planets, and so much more. Wow, said Samuel. So, where are we going to go first? We're going to visit my best friend Brownie B. Brown in Barnhart City, said Hiko. He's a brown firefighter dog and also one of the biggest adventurers and heroes in this world. Are you sure about that? Asked Samuel. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a cool hero, but I don't know about greatest compared to the superheroes I've seen. Well, he is to me. He has had some awesome adventures and missions of his own. One time, during an episode of his talk show called Friday Night with Brownie B. Brown, he had to battle a witch that wanted to take over the studio and make evil versions of the programming air in there. Another time, Brownie fought an army of ninjas known as the Kappa clan to save his sensei. I forgot his name. However, the biggest adventure Brownie's had recently is when he saved the mayor's baby daughter from an army of ice monsters that kidnapped her. The monster's boss wanted the mayor's position, so he held her hostage on the planet Uranus in order to force the mayor to surrender it. Fortunately, Brownie's friends helped him to make a fire truck spaceship to go to Uranus, battle the ice monsters, and rescue the mayor's daughter. Unfortunately, the boss escaped and hasn't been found since. Then nobody even knows his identity. That's quite some that's quite some adventures. I can see why you think he's the greatest hero. Indeed, I even wrote about the last adventure and submitted it in a writing contest for Imagine That Comics, but it didn't win. If it had won, Brownie would have had his own comic book series along with a possible television series and even a movie. Well, just because it didn't win that contest doesn't mean Brownie won't ever become known to the public. You just got to keep trying until it happens. Also, when we find Brownie, maybe we can learn how to become heroes like him, or possibly superheroes. Then I guess we should. Then I guess we should get moving along to find him. Let's go. Also, just gotta let you guys know a little something about what they mentioned about Brownie going to Uranus there to save a princess. Well, actually save the mayor's daughter from some ice monsters. That actually is a reference to an actual story I wrote when I was in elementary for a Disney writing contest called Brownie's Rescue Mission to Uranus, and I think in one of my earlier streams I may have mentioned that when I was looking through my old writings and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what that right there was based on there. That little short story for the Disney writing contest. And yeah, just like Hiko, I didn't my story didn't exactly win. I just got a commemorative pin and say, keep up the good work. Or as Mickey Mouse would say, keep up the good work. Uh-huh. Yeah, keep on writing there, game. So uh so yeah, yeah, and that's probably and also there's gonna be a little that story that also that adventure he mentioned is actually gonna be the plot of book four. Book four is actually going to be a flashback to give you more detail about that rescue mission, and also Brownie started out at the firehouse when Brownie first got his job at the fire station. Yep. Also, the whole thing of Brownie being a firefighter actually came from when I first got him at my grandma's house, and she had some of my uncle's old toys, and one of them was a fire truck, and I always used to put Brownie on the fire truck. So that's how Brownie being a firefighter came about. There, yep, mixed with a space explorer. All right. Oh yeah, I can help you. I can help you find Brownie," said a voice. The boys looked around until they spotted a fairy with blonde hair, dressed in red. She looked adorable and caused them to blush a little as they spoke. Uh, uh, wow. Oh, hi. The fairy giggled and said, "Hello to you too. My name is Flora." Samuel began to flirt and step closer to Flora as he responded, "Well, my name is Samuel Lee Princeton, but you can just call me Samuel or Sammy. However, if you're lucky, I'll let you call me. I'll let you call me to request a nice dinner and a movie on me." Hmm. Oh my! Well, you're a cutie," said Flora. "I sure hope I'm lucky enough to take you up on that offer. I can be a bit mysterious." Then she noticed Hiko stuttering a bit, smiled, and said to him, while batting her eyes, "Hmm, are you going to get your words out, or do you need a little bit of help?" Eventually, Hiko managed to say, "My name is Hikoji Makuro, but you can call me Hiko. So, you said you could help us find Brownie?" "I sure did," said Flora. "If you follow me, I'll take you right to him." The boys agreed and followed Flora. Over at the Barnhart's Convention Center in the downtown area of Barnhart City, a pink bear named Anna Rosefield entered along with her siblings. There was her sister Karen, a light brown bear, her brother, Karen's twin, Kevin, a gray bear, and her adoptive baby sister Camille, a little yellow chick. A white A white bear with a red head named Barry Barron came out to greet them. Oh, hello and praise the Lord, you're here, Anna, said Barry. I was starting to worry a little. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Barron, said Anna very sweetly. We had to stop at a costume store to get Camille a new bunny ear headband. Well, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have had to if Kevin hadn't put her other headband in the washing machine, said Karen, glaring at Kevin. The instructions said to hand wash. That's exact that's exactly what I did, said Kevin. Before I put it in the machine, I washed my hands. That Karen groaned as Anna bent down spoke gently spoke to Kevin. Kevin, hand washing means you gently wash the item in the sink or bowl of water with liquid laundry soap. I told him that, but he wouldn't listen, said Karen. He thought it was silly. Well, you could have shown me how, and maybe it wouldn't have sounded silly, said Kevin. I tried to, said Karen. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. No, yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Anna clapped her hands really loud and gave them a serious look to stop their argument. After that, she firmly said, I need I need you two to watch Camille instead of arguing with each other. Then, when we get home tonight, I will show you two how to properly hand wash clothes so we don't have this problem anymore. Is that clear? Okay, they said in unison. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so okay, I saw a message from Claus there. All right. I thought I thought at first it was somebody else that left out, but anyway. Um, so one thing I got to share about little joke, that hand washing thing that they mentioned about before I stuck it in the machine, I washed my hands. That was a joke from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air when I think it was Carlton when he said, Jazz, the instructions on this jacket said hand wash only. That's exactly what I did. Before I stuck it in the machine, I washed my hands. So yeah, and then I also did that as a short on the channel on the Brownie and Friends. They actually when they was doing a Geico commercial there, I put that in there. Yeah. All right then. Now that that's settled, let's get this photo shoot on the road, Anna, said Barry. Absolutely, Mr. Barron, said Anna, ever so much. On that note, everyone went into the exhibit room to set up for the photo shoot. Karen, Kevin, and Camille were escorted to a special area in the back of the room with a play set, plenty of toys, and a couple of staff members to monitor them and also provide them fancy snacks. I wouldn't mind having some of that. I hope I'm not too late, said the voice. Barry and Anna looked up, and a dark brown gorilla in a fancy suit approached them carrying a large briefcase. Barry greeted him. Hello, sir. You're actually just in time. Then Barry turned to Anna and said, Anna, this is Ace and Silverstone of Silverstone Industries. It is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Silverstone, said Anna, ever so much. The pleasure is mine, little princess, said Mr. Silverstone, shaking her hand. Mr. Silverstone provided the funding for your photo shoot today, Anna, said Barry, along with a special request. What's the special request? Asked Anna. I was hoping you would use my knit hats in addition to some of your outfits, said Mr. Silverstone as he opened the briefcase, revealing several knit hats. I know this is usually a winter wear, but these are special made for the summer. Some of them have, some of them even have Christmas patterns for Christmas in July. What do you think, Anna? Anna thought for a second, then she said, "Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to try them out." "Excellent decision," said Mr. Silverstone. As the photo shoot began, over in Barnhart City, fire station number one, Brownie and his friends and some other students were doing some martial arts training in the dojo. Their teacher is an elderly brown bear named Frederick Fluffleson Campbell, but most people call him Mr. Fluffles. And that's actually a bear that Casey has. So this is actually a character from Casey. Say Mr. Fluffles. But to his students, he is known as Sensei Fluffles. I'm trying to think of the voice I have for him. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, Effie. Was it? Well, I was trying to remember. Okay, I'm trying to remember the voice I had for Mr. Fluffles. Uh, yeah. All right, everyone. Let's do some one-on-one sparring, said Mr. Fluffles. Dashdale Evans and Emily Landego, you will be first. The two walked upon the dojo mat and prepared to spar. Despite the fact of Emily being a black and white cat and Dashdale being a gray squirrel, Dashdale felt very confident in himself. "Don't take it personally," said Dashdale, "but you're going down." "Bring it, bring it on," said Emily. "Begin," said Mr. Fluffles. Dashdale started running left to right as he said, "Time to show you my dash foo skills." "What in the world is dash foo?" asked Emily. Dashdale kept running left to right as he explained. It goes it goes beyond the highest level of skill imaginable with a little bit of style." Then Dashdale started running around Emily in a circle and even hopping like a rabbit. Emily watched carefully and asked, "So when do you plan to show your dash food?" "Patience, little kitty cat," said Dashdale with a grin. "You won't see it coming." Then Emily uttered a low growl, angrily, but still observed Dashdale's movements. Eventually, Dashdale tried a surprise karate chop, but Emily quickly blocked it, grabbed Dashdale's hand, and flipped him. "Looks like I saw it coming," said Emily. "And for the record," Dashdale jumped back up, determined not to give up. "Ooh, ooh, you're quick. Oh, you're quick, little kitty cat. But I'm quicker," he said, interrupting Emily while still running and hopping left to right. Mr. Fluffles noticed Emily becoming more angrier and said sternly, "Dashdale, perhaps you should." "I got no, no, I got this, Sensei Fluffles," interrupted Dashdale. Then he said to Emily, "Watch my feet, watch my hands. I'm gonna come on with it. I'm gonna come on with it. You won't see it coming this time. The little kitty cat, little kitty cat." Emily's anger got out of control and she uttered a lion's roar. Dashdale charged at her to do a high jump kick as he said, "That's impressive, but it doesn't scare me, little." Emily caught Dashdale's foot and said to him, "Do not ever call me a little kitty cat." Then she swung him hard toward the wall, injuring his back a little. Everyone went to make sure Dashdale is okay as he struggled to get back up. I was I was trying to tell you that you shouldn't announce your. You know what? I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna try another voice from Mr. Fluffles here. I was trying to tell you that you shouldn't announce your attack, Dashtail, said Mr. Fluffles. Otherwise, you lose the element of surprise, and your opponent as well as your enemies will easily take you down. Then Mr. Fluffles spoke to Emily. I know why you became angry, but you must not allow that anger to cause you to lose control of yourself in the battle. The same way showing off caused Dashdale to mess up, your anger will do the same to you. Yes, Sensei Fluffles, Emily said while taking a deep breath to calm herself. Well, okay, so that scene right there between Emily and Dashdale, there, when Dashdale was talking about you gonna see my dash through and was doing all the hopping like watch my feet, watch my hand, I come on with it, I come on with it. That was actually imitating a scene from Nutty Professor when Reggie was fighting Buddy. Uh, when they was fighting on stage, they said, watch my feet. I'm like, come on with it, I come on with it. Yeah, whoa. And oh, you quick, but I quicker. Watch my feet. Come on with it, come on. So yeah, and the do not ever call me a little kitty. That's a little something from Space Jam. That Lola Bunny. Remember when she said, "Don't ever call me doll." Yep. So a little something from that, which actually that was a reference from another old movie. Some of y'all probably know what it is, but um, kind of an adult movie there. But yeah, but that's where Space Jam got it from there. So yeah, so that's where those came from there. Those little lines there. Suddenly, the alarms went off. A penguin named Billy Webster rushed in and said, "Mr. Penguin, Mr. Fluffles, we just got a call reporting a beyond fire emergency in the downtown area. Brownie and Jello, let's get to the fire command center now," ordered Mr. Fluffles. "Emily, remain here with Dashdale and the other students." "Yes, Sensei," said everyone except Dashdale, who jumped to his feet. "Why can't I come in on the action?" asked Dashdale. You need time to recover from your injury," said Mr. Fluffles. "Sensei, I'm not hurt that bad," started Dashdale. Then he felt the pain and tried not to show it, but it caused him to bend down his knees, groaning and holding back. "I can still go. Ow." "No," interrupted Mr. Fluffles. "Stay here with the other students and rest. That's an order." "Yes, Sensei," said Dasher, disappointed. And he stared at Emily. "I'm sorry I hurt you," said Emily, "but I don't like it when people call me a little kitty cat." And then we go on to chapter 2. A little sepia. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so chapter 2. A princess in a maroon dress arrived in Barnhart City in the Barnhart Forest. She took a moment to take in the peacefulness and beauty of the area, making her really calm and happy. She started giggling and dancing to the music she imagined playing in her mind. She also imagined herself as Cinderella dancing with her Prince Charming. Everything seemed all right until a little witch arrived and hid out of sight in a nearby shadowy area among some trees. time for the Time for the plan to begin, said the witch, and she started building up dark magic within her hands, aimed toward the princess, and began to chant. "Now it's time for this princess to nap. Then she'll awaken in my trap." Suddenly, the princess fell asleep. The witch laughed evilly as she used her dark magic to teleport the princess away from the forest. Back at the fire station, Mr. Fluffles, Brownie, Gerald, and Billy arrived at the Fire Command Center. Computer, bring up the caller on screen, commanded Billy. The computer revealed the caller on screen, which was Mayor Cedric Rosefield, a brown bear. Mayor Rosefield, what's the trouble? Asked Mr. Fluffles. The mayor explained. I just received a call from Barry in the Barnhart Convention Center. He just said, as Anna started her photo shoot, a bunch of knit hats turned into monsters. Then they gathered together to become a giant monster, grabbed Anna, and started a rampage down through the downtown area. I bet whoever those ice monsters were working for is probably behind this, said Brownie. Don't worry, Mayor Rosefield. We'll save Anna, then figure out who's causing all this. Thank you, everyone, said the mayor as the call ended. Sounds like a perfect chance to use a new fighter jet planes, said Billy. Are you two up for the challenge? Of course I am, exclaimed Brownie. You count me in, said Gerald. Brownie and Gerald rushed to the hangar towards their fighter plane. Before they got inside, Billy informed them about the ability of the plane. Brownie, your fighter plane is a blue Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor called Paper Eater. It has missile launcher wings that look like the propeller fins of a shark, and a dorsal fin with an electric blaster on top behind the cockpit. It also has a huge mouth with shark teeth that can shoot fire. It also has an iron grappling hook in the back, right above the thrusters. Then Billy explained Gerald's plane. Gerald, your fighter plane is a yellow Eurofighter Typhoon called Space Fight. It has a larger silvery gray sphere in the front of the cockpit that can open like a mouth, with fangs similar to Paper Eater, but instead of shooting fire, it has a water cannon. It also has missiles on its back, an ice ray blasters and thrusters. Billy, you really outdone yourself, buddy, said Brownie. Just wait till you see my next invention, said Billy. We'll definitely be looking forward to it after this rescue mission, said Gerald. Then Brownie and Gerald got into their planes and blasted off downtown. Meanwhile, Flora, Pico, and Samuel arrived at the abandoned Mart Supercenter. Here we are, boys, said Flora. Brownie should be right in there. Are you sure? asked Pico. This place looks deserted. It is, but there's been some suspicious activity going on in there, explained Flora. So Brownie went in to investigate. If I were you guys, I'd wait until he finishes. If we wait, we'll miss all the action, exclaimed Samuel. I say we go in now. Well, I suppose if he's in there, it would be all right. Yeah. Make sure I ain't missing anything. Okay, there we go. Look, I know you're excited, but you really should wait, said Flora. You don't know what you'll run into. I'm sure we can handle it, said Samuel. And it's possible we might end up helping Brownie, said Ego. So let's go. Flora sighed and said, All right, then go ahead, but be careful. We will, said Ego. Indeed, said Samuel, kissing Flora's hand. We'll be at it out before you know it. Then, let's see what they got. Oh, talking about that poll thing. Okay. Okay. Checking my messages. Okay. Mhm. Hiko and he and Hiko raced inside the cola mart and began searching for Brownie, starting around the front end registers. They didn't see anyone at first, but suddenly the store started to shake. It's an earthquake! Exclaimed Hiko. We better get under something quick! Exclaimed Samuel. Then the shaking stopped, and the boys looked confused until they noticed the cash register sprang up and levitated in front of them. I don't suppose those registers are going to give us a cash reward for something, asked Hiko nervously. The cash registers fired coins at the boys. They dodged and realized the coins exploded when they hit the ground. Like, that's not our kind of reward, shouted Samuel. Run! Hiko and Samuel ran. The cash registers ran after them. During the chase, the princess from the Barnhart Forest woke up. In the receiving room of the store, she looked around, wondering how she got there, and saw a man with his back facing her. She walked up to the man to get his attention. The man turned around to face the princess, revealing to be a zombie with teeth in his eye sockets. The princess ran from the zombie screaming, but as she came out the double doors into the electronics section, she saw a whole army of zombies just like the first one, with teeth in their eye sockets too. As the zombies slowly approached the princess, she got so overstimulated that she became dizzy and blacked out, falling on the floor. Over in the downtown area, people fled in a panic as the giant hat monster, which was 400 feet tall, was continuing his rampage while holding Anna in his right hand, who was struggling to escape. Eventually, Brownie and Gerald arrived in their planes, blasting it. The monster threw Anna up into the sky and fell on his back. Brownie flew Paper Eater toward Anna, opened the cockpit, and caught her. Thank you ever so much, said Anna. Always a pleasure. And now let's get you to safety, said Brownie. Then the hat monster got back up and went to attack, but Gerald had Spacebite freeze it with his ice ray blaster. After that, Brownie had Paper Eater engulf it in fire, causing it to shrink until it disintegrated into ashes. Looks like we defeated it easily, said Gerald. Indeed, replied Brownie. Perhaps a little too easy. Hmm. Brownie's a little suspicious there. Gotta get some more little water there. You can make it thirsty. All right. Now we're at chapter 3. All right. So, Hiko and Samuel were still running from the cash registers, and eventually the boys managed to lose the registers on the frozen food aisles with different kinds of ice cream. However, just as the boys sighed in relief, they were instantly surrounded by a bunch of skeletons that appeared and were preparing to breathe fire out their mouths at the boys. Any ideas, buddy? Asked Samuel. If only we could freeze the skeletons like ice cream, said Hiko. Suddenly, all the freezer doors opened. Then ice cream was fired at the skeletons, freezing them in place. After that, they all broke apart and fell on the ground. Did I do that? Asked Hiko. Then Hiko and Samuel heard some loud breathing sound. They looked toward the end of the at the end of the aisle and saw more skeletons. One of the skeletons noticed the boys, pointed at them, and said to the other skeleton, "Hey, dun dun, hey, dun dun, hey." That right there about the skeletons going, "Hey," that's actually from a game I used to play called Spooky Castle. I used to play on the computer, and when the skeletons showed up, they would be like, "Hey, dun dun dun, hey, dun dun dun, hey." and be shooting fireballs at you there. And don't get me started with the giant skull that would shoot a big laser at you. Oh boy. So whatever you did before, Hiko, I suggest you do it again, exclaimed Samuel. Okay, I'll try this, said Hiko, holding out his hands and facing the skeletons. Frozen Fury! All the freezers started rumbling until they exploded into an ice cream tidal wave, which drowned the skeletons. It also carried Hiko and Samuel all the way through the double doors into the back of the store. As the boys got up, they smelled different seasonings down the hallway and heard a faint cry. Smells like more trouble is cooking down there, said Samuel, which means someone is in more danger than we were, said Hiko. Samuel grabbed two nearby poles and handed one to Hiko. They raced down the hallway. Once they got to the receiving room, they saw the zombies and the princess they captured tied to a wooden log in the corner. She was crying out of fear as she watched the zombies preparing their giant cooking pot of boiling water with different seasonings. Wait, what? Oh, there's something else here? Oh, I'll check that out later. So what's the plan? Whispered Samuel. Hiko took a quick look around. Then he got an idea and whispered, "Can you knock at least one of them into the cooking pot?" Samuel grinned as he whispered, "That'll be too easy. Just be sure to get a distance away from them immediately after you strike." Gotcha. On that note, Samuel rushed toward the zombies and was able to hit two of them into the pot, causing it to roll over. Then the zombies slowly reacted. Samuel quickly ran back. After that, Hiko held his hand toward the fire and shouted, "Engulfing Inferno!" The fire rose up, surrounding the remaining zombies and burnt them to ashes. Hiko ran over to the princess, quickly untied her, and the two of them fled along with Samuel all the way back to the electronics department. After the three rested a moment, the princess looked at Hiko, kissed his cheek, and smiled. Samuel looked surprised and said, "I'll take that as a big thank you." Hiko blushed and said to the princess, "Well, you're very welcome." The boys introduced themselves, and in response, the princess said, "My name is Naomi Ricky." "Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Naomi," said Samuel. Then he playfully elbowed Hiko and whispered to him, "And lucky for you, buddy." Hiko laughed nervously, but Flora arrived in a panic, shouting, "Oh, thank goodness you guys are okay." "What's wrong, Flora?" asked Samuel. "I thought Brownie was in here investigating, but he isn't," said Flora. "Where is he?" asked Hiko. Flora started to explain, but suddenly the store began to warp, separating her from the others. Oh, yeah. Now we're at the fourth chapter. Back at the fire station, in the gym area, Emily punched, kicked, karate chopped, and even slashed the heavy bag until eventually it broke. Eventually, Brownie entered and picked up a second heavy bag to hang it up for her. Emily looked at him and said, "I can do that myself." "I never said you couldn't," said Brownie. "I was just being a gentleman." "You mean like your friend Dashtail?" said Emily. "You're still upset about that kitty cat comment, aren't you?" asked Brownie. Emily came at Brownie with a karate chop, but he blocked it. She hissed angrily and said, "Don't call me that." Emily tried to punch and kick Brownie, but he kept blocking and dodging. Hey, what's up, Casey? Glad you could make it. All right. I just got to the fourth chapter in here. It's a Brownie and Emily kind of having a little talk there. Yep. sort of. It's sort of like if they done that. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. See, nothing wrong with that. So like Christina, she sometimes they say yeah, she have naps throughout the day. Sometimes, and all depending on how the day go. And nap is not really my thing to take a nap, but sometimes if I'm really tired, yeah, I do sort of collapse. But yeah, it just kind of happens with me that I don't purposely try to do it, but next thing you know, I'm asleep. So yeah, it happens. Yeah, and sometimes I will if I have to be in my. I guess because I'm cause one thing let you in on a little something. One thing my mom always said when I was a little baby, I always tried to fight my sleep. That's, I guess that explains why I be like on the midnight shifts at work. I'd be looking, oh, gotta get to work. So yeah, she always I've been trying to. I've been a sleep fighter ever since I was like a little baby. So yeah, little little something she wrote in the baby book. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. I don't want to go. Yeah, yeah. That's kind of how it would be. I'm not. Yeah. And I remember one of these live streams, I sort of, I think the Power Ranger one, I sort of was falling out, and I had to redo it there. So, yeah, I was like, so then he morphed into the Red Ranger, and Flora said, what, Flora? So, yeah. So, okay. Oh, get a little sip here. Keep my voice from drying out there. All right. So, okay. So Emily said, don't call me that. Emily tried to punch and kick Brownie, but he kept blocking and dodging. And when she stopped a moment to catch her breath, Brownie said, "I'm sorry about that, but that still didn't that still didn't mean any harm. He just likes to joke around and show off at times, which can get him into trouble. However, I'll make sure he doesn't say that to you anymore." Emily grunted and said, "Whatever. So what do you want with me?" Brownie took a deep breath and said, "Well, you've been here for about a week now, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in hanging out with me outside the fire station. We could get some coffee and eat out of the burger port, or catch a movie or something." Emily interrupted. "Are you asking me out on a date?" "Well, maybe." Kind of like Batman when he said, "Maybe." I'm not ex- I'm not exactly the type of girl you or any other guy like you or even your buddies would want to date. "Well, if we get to know each other, you might find out you're wrong." "How old are you?" "I'm 21. Guess that explains how you're able to work here at the fire station. Thought you was a little younger than that." "Well, I'm guessing you're 21 too? Possibly 20? "I'm 23. And I hate to break it to you, but if I decided to date, it would be an older guy. Well, I'm not too much younger than you. And for your information, younger guys like me can mature ourselves for older yet beautiful women like you. Yeah. So that was the and that's how and as I would explain to my future kids, and that's how I met your mother. I'm into older guys. Well, Christina, I could mature myself for a lovely older woman like you. And yeah, on the next episode of How I Met Your Mother. Ooh, see, and ain't it a stinker? So nice try, but I don't think so. However, for your generous way of treating me, but I suppose we can hang out sometimes. Also, your sensei heavily suggested for me to be more sociable in order to work better with you all. Very well. Hanging out is a good start. But keep in mind, we're just hanging out as co-workers. Possibly, I would consider friends, but it's not a date. Indeed, Miss Sandiego. Excuse me. But you say co-workers, as in implying the start of a co-worker relation. Yeah, sure. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like some time alone. As you wish. Brownie headed out as Emily went back working on the heavy bag. As he came out the gym, he went to Dashdale's room where he was resting. Yeah, I said this. Yeah, Christina said it's not a date. Okay, it is a date. Yeah. Billy and Gerald were with him, and they both looked at Brownie with a sly grin. This it's not, I'm sorry to keep stopping, but it's so much stuff that is referenced both in fiction and nonfiction. Um, the fact that they're looking at Brownie with a sly grin after he talked to Emily. Um, when me and Christina first started talking and we were just friends, um, for some reason she always kissed me before we like when we said okay we're going off to class, and she always kissed me on the cheek. So one day she did that. I came up to my class, and the minute I got in the classroom, one of the students quickly jumped up and pointed at me. Christina kissed you. How did you know that? So, yeah, oh boy. So I say, what? Asked Brownie. You know, said Gerald. What? What do I know? Asked Brownie again. You asked Emily out on a date, didn't you? Said Billy. Technically, it's not a date, exclaimed Brownie. We're hanging out as coworkers, maybe friends. Yeah, two co-workers in love, said Gerald, chuckling. Well, she is kind of cute, said Brownie. And yeah, I'm considering it a good. I knew it, said Gerald. Brownie and Emily sitting in a tree. Kissing, sang Billy. Brownie shushed everyone. Shh, keep it down. Eventually, she'll warm up to me, but we gotta take it slow. Hmm. I don't think she's worth your time, Brownie, said Dashdale, still upset. Why? Because you were flirting with her earlier, said Billy. Well, yes, until she got rough with me, said Dashdale. Seriously, I could take getting turned down, but that's just me. Then Mr. Fluffles entered and said, you all must be patient with Emily. From what I've seen in her, she has great potential. Yeah, potential to embarrass me, said Dashtail, rolling his eyes. Different people have different ways of expressing themselves, explained Mr. Fluffles. Those ways must be respected in order to show them true friendship. That will help you all become a great team as firefighters, city defenders, and in life. Suddenly, a warp appeared just like one from earlier. Flora fell out of it and landed on Dashtail. He yelled in pain, and everyone quickly helped Flora up into a chair and got Dashtail straightened up. Flora, are you all right? Asked Brownie. Flora sprung up in a panic, shouting, I'm, I'm so sorry, everyone, but Hiko and his friends are in danger. What? Where are they? Asked Brownie. Trapped inside the cola mart. That said Flora, starting to tear up. They they went because I told them you were in there, Brownie. Then when I realized you wasn't, I I went in to get them out, but I got separated from them in that ward. It's all my fault. I'm so sorry, Brownie. But calm down, Flora. Calm down. I'm gonna go get them out. I'm coming with you, said Gerald. What's up, EJ? The Supreme, the one EJS, the one and only. Oh boy, one EJ is in here with us. One EJ and the storm of Rain Roberts. As I say, storm. That'd be a good introduction for the one EJS, a big storm. So, oh, okay. Hey, I understand, EJ. I know you trying to do the big work there. I feel you, bro. Yeah. I'm trying to one thing. Oh yeah, I forgot to announce he was here earlier. He had to duck out there, but he was the first one here. So, yeah. But one thing I forgot to mention at the very beginning, I actually just contacted Sherry Gray. I called her. Her voicemail was full, but I was able to text her. And she told me to email her. You know what I was talking about and everything. So yeah, just waiting for her to check the email. She did. So yeah, she does know I sent it. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully if things, like I say, if things go good, we might be able to get this series into some plays there on stage. Yeah, be able to see somebody in a brownie costume on stage there. Yeah, so hopefully that goes well there. Okay. Oh yeah. So all right. So am I," said Dashdale, quickly getting up from the bed. But the pain in his back made him fall down. "Stay here and continue to rest your back," said Brownie firmly. But started that, but then he noticed Brownie and Mr. Fluffles had a serious look on their face, and then he said, "Fine, I'll stay." And in chapter 5, see Hiko's grandparents and him, Big Papa and Granny. In the real world, Hiko's grandparents, who he called Granny and Big Papa, were sitting in the den of their house watching their favorite soap opera, The Grace and the Charming, until a commercial break came on, sort of like the Bold and the Beautiful, or the Young and the Restless. or, yeah, or guiding, or don't get me started with Guiding Light. Yeah, them old soap op- and I didn't really watch the soap operas, but yeah, my grandfather they still watch the soap. I will say I respect the soap operas though. It's not really my big thing to watch, but I respect them because there are elements in soap operas in some of the genres that we do watch, even in especially like even in anime. Some animes are pretty much like soap operas. Sometimes me and Christina, when we was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, when we got to season two, I think three. That it almost became like we were watching a soap opera there. I mean, Christina was like, "Okay, we're watching the next episode today." So yeah, it got us like we were watching it like a soap opera. Okay, so back with this. Ooh, cat, dash it! I can't believe that Grace would betray Victor like that," said Granny. She definitely fooled him, all right," said Big Papa. All that time, he thought she truly loved him, and now his heart is broken. He didn't. He did not deserve that at all," said Granny. She got up and said, "You want some peanuts?" "Yeah, I could use some," said Big Papa. "I'll take the unsalted ones this time." As Granny got up into the kitchen to get the peanuts, the house started shaking. Granny Papa heard some large footsteps approaching the house. They went to look out the window and eventually saw a giant 15-foot tall golden buffalo tearing down the wooden fence in the backyard. Big Papa immediately went to one of the kitchen cabinets to get his walking stick. What? What do you think you're doing?" exclaimed Granny. Big Papa quickly got the stick and raced out right back in the den, saying, "I'm gonna fight that buffalo and get it out of our yard and hopefully out the neighborhood." Big Papa opened the patio door and went out into the backyard. Originally, I wrote Big Papa was gonna climb up out the window in the den, because this was actually a dream I had once where Big Papa fought a buffalo, and in the dream he climbed out the window, and I wrote that, but my mom was proofreading it, and she said, "Gabriel, no, he don't, nah, Big Papa would walk out the back door. He ain't climbing out no window at his age." Yeah, I know this is make believe, Gabe, but yeah, your Big Papa ain't climbing out no window. So that was from my story advisor. So yeah, and to say, of course, because she know Big Papa and Randy a little bit of the like she know what Big Papa would do and not do. Because okay. All right, appreciate you coming in. Okay, so make sure you give a like there. Give a like. Yeah. Yeah, make sure you give a little like there. Let YouTube know this is a good story. All right. Okay, so he went out up immediately. Oh yeah. So Granny was really nervous. And she went out the patio door after Big Papa and shouted, "Good God Almighty! Archie, be careful fighting that buffalo." "Don't worry, Esther," said Big Papa. "I got this. Just stay here for safety." Granny watched as Big Papa charged toward the buffalo with his stick. Once he got close enough, he used the stick like an athlete in the Olympics to make himself jump higher into the air. Then he started falling toward the buffalo. He used the speed and force of his fall to wham the buffalo's head really hard. The buffalo felt the pain, but he didn't fall. After that, the buffalo used his head to swing Big Papa back into the air, causing him to land on his back in his garden. Granny quickly raced over to Big Papa. "Archie, come on, let's get you out of here," she said, helping Big Papa up on his feet. We can't do that, Esther," exclaimed Big Papa. "Otherwise, that buffalo will tear up the neighborhood along with our house. Now go back inside the safety and let me handle this." Then Big Papa noticed his garden was messed up from the fall, and he was really upset. Big Papa actually does have a garden in his backyard there. He glared at the buffalo and shouted, "I know you didn't just mess up my garden, you golden horned Goliath-sized behemoth. It took me weeks to grow them tomatillos and coyote squash. And don't even get me started with the Vidalia onions." The buffalo grunted and positioned himself to charge at Big Papa. "So you want to play rough with an old man like me?" said Big Papa, taunting the buffalo. "Well, I got one thing to say to you, Buster. When this old man is finished with you, You gonna be nothing but an extra large help of the buffalo wings and a bucket of shredded chicken. So bring it on. I bet you'd like to eat some of those wings, huh, EJ? the buff the buffalo and Big Papa charged at each other. Once they got close enough, the buffalo tried to headbutt Big Papa, but he blocked it, hitting the buffalo's head with the stick. Then they fought each other, clashing horns and stick like a sword fight, until Granny started calling out to Big Papa, Archie! 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 She shouted until it was revealed that Big Papa was dreaming the whole thing, asleep in his easy chair. As he woke, he saw Granny trying to wake him up. So, oh, it was just a dream. But at least it ain't like the Twilight outcome, though. oh, oh boy, Big Papa said as he woke up. That was a big buffalo. Buffalo. Oh, Granny said, rolling her eyes as she continued. Oh, cat dash it, Archie. You always wake up saying something crazy. Where's Hiko and Samuel? Big Papa was puzzled for a minute as he looked around the room and he looked out the window to the backyard and asked, They haven't come back yet? No, they haven't, said Granny angrily. And Yolanda just called me to let me know that in 30 minutes she'll be leaving her classroom to come and pick up the boys. Big Papa jumped up and rushed to the kitchen to get his truck keys and said, Okay, I'll go to Yumeko and get them back. You wait here. No, I'm not. We're both going, and I'm driving my car. The Esther, I can go get them myself. Well, you should have went with them after telling them about that world. Now they done probably got lost somewhere and forgot how to get back. Now let's get in my car, Archie. All right, yeah. On that note, Granny and Big Papa headed out in Granny's car to go to Yumeko. And in case you're wondering, yeah, that's how my Granny and Big Papa actually are in real life, and been that way for years. And they still married. They're about to, I think it's about to be their 66th anniversary next month. Yeah, that's what Big Papa announced to me there. Yes, yeah, still strong after 66 years. So yeah. They fuss a little and they fuss and fuss sometimes, but they still love each other. That's just how they do. So, yeah. Chapter 6. Hiko woke up in the home improvement department of Mart, and apparently there wasn't no Tim Allen around. Then he began to look around for Samuel and Naomi while calling out for them. Eventually, he found Naomi on one of the toy owls unconscious on the ground. Seeing her in her dress made him imagine her as Sleeping Beauty. On that note, his magic changed. His magic changed his clothes into a burgundy suit, making him look like a prince. Okay, I can do this, Hiko thought to himself as he walked up to Naomi. After all, she kissed me first. I'm sure she wouldn't mind one kiss from me to wake her up. Hiko got on his knees and leaned in slowly to kiss Naomi. Suddenly, she woke up, making Hiko stop out of nervousness and jump back. Naomi smiled as she got up and said, Hi, Hiko. Hi, Naomi, said Hiko, getting back up. Are you okay? Naomi nodded yes and kissed Hiko's cheek again, making him blush deeply. Your suit looks your suit looks nice, by the way. Well, I'm glad to hear that, and thank you, he said. I'm just I'm just curious about something. Why did you kiss me before now? Because I like you, she replied. Hiko looked at her, not sure what to say for a moment. Naomi, still smiling, looked back at him with her full attention, and then he smiled back and said, "Okay, well, I like you too." The two continued looking at each other, smiling until they noticed the toys around them and started playing with them, not thinking of the dangers from earlier. Oh, come on. If you're a kid, you would definitely go to playing with toys. Come on. Eventually, they noticed some action figures of the IT comic superheroes. The IT stood for Imagine That, sort of like their version of DC Comics there. Hiko picked up one of the figures and said, "They have the Super Deluxe Electronic Ultra Cat action figure? That looks cool," said Naomi. "Oh, it's more than cool," said Hiko, getting more excited and hyped up. "The IT comic action figures are the greatest toys on the planet." Hiko took a deep breath to calm down for a minute. He feared Naomi might not be interested and said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got like that. It's just I've always wanted to get this Ultra Cat figure last Christmas, but it was sold out. Oh, are you into superheroes?" "I am not sure," said Naomi. "I do not know much about superheroes, but you may tell me about them." "Okay, sure," he said Hiko as he began. "Ultra Cat is from the planet Furon. When it exploded, he was sent to Earth. His original name is Old Trail, but his adoptive parents on Earth, Mason and Mary Kent, named him Mart Kent. When Mart grew up, he became a reporter, but whenever there was trouble in Ultra City, he'd be there as Ultra Cat to save the day." Put, hey, try to take a guess and see what I may have said it before, but you try to take a guess at what you think Ultra Cat is a reference to, just from what I read right there. See if you put it in that. See if you can try to guess. The similar. Oh yeah, he is similar to you," said Naomi. "You really think so?" asked Hiko a bit bashful. Naomi got closer to Hiko and said, "Yes, I do, because he saves the day the same way you saved my life." Hiko looked into Naomi's sparkling eyes as she looked at him. He blushed even more than before and said, "I guess you have a good point. Of course, I had some help from Samuel." Naomi hugged Hiko and said, "Then the two of you should have your own action figures." Hiko hugged Naomi back and said, "Maybe one day we will." They were about to kiss each other, but a voice interrupted and said, "No, you won't." It was another one of the zombies from earlier. He raised his hands up and slid toward Hiko and Naomi, but they escaped just in time and fled out the toy department. As they came into the clothes department, the cash registers popped up in front of them. "Get behind me, Naomi," said Hiko. Once Naomi was behind Hiko, he quickly up the Ultra Cat figure and shouted, "Ultra Cat, use your solar vision!" The Ultra Cat figure instantly came out of Hiko's hand and became the size of the real Ultra Cat and fired its solar vision from his eyes, destroying the registers. Suddenly, more zombies approached from behind, with the skeletons approaching them. "We have to escape, find Samuel, and get out of this store," said Hiko. "Hold on, hold on tight, kids," said the Ultra Cat figure as he picked up Hiko and Naomi and flew them away from the area. "Yeah, I know, right?" That's, yeah, you hear that zombie coming? Yeah, you better get out of there. Don't be like Katie and Mika. Just oh hey, check this out. The door is moving. Isn't that kind of cool? Hey, you think we get to do more stuff? What is your purpose? "Get out of the house, you dummy!" Oh, yeah, worst boyfriend ever. Yeah. So now we're at chapter 7 now. Gran- Granny and Big Papa arrived in Yumeko. But after driving around for a while, they noticed something wasn't right. Big Papa asked Granny to pull over and park near at a nearby gas station. Once she did, they got out the car and rocked and walked over to one of the employees standing outside, which was a brown beaver with a name tag reading Bobby Bosco. Hey there, Bobby, said Big Papa. Bobby looked at Big Papa with excitement and spoke. Say, hey, Archie, how you doing, man? Like, same old, said Big Papa, just hanging in there. I hear that, said Bobby. Then he noticed Granny and spoke. And how are you, Esther? Well, I'm doing just fine, and you? Like, yeah, I'm ready to hit that easy chair after this shift ends there in a few more hours, said Bobby. So what brings you two here? It's been a while since I've seen y'all. Well, we got a little lost, said Big Papa. Do you know which way to the Barnhart City Fire Station number 1? Well, you're a pretty good piece from it, said Bobby. First go back out down. First go back out down Matthew Mark Avenue. Stay on it until you get to Interstate 30, make a left, then exit on Interstate 59. After that, exit on the West Gabriel Road. Gabriel Road, huh? Turn right, and the fire station will be on your left on Victor Road. Hmm. Maybe I might put an EJ Street in here somewhere. As I got Gabriel Road, might have to put an EJ Street in here or Edwin Street, or maybe EJ Highway, maybe on the EJ Highway. So, yeah. we'll we'll work. We'll get that in there somewhere. Thank you. E Interstate. Okay, E Interstate. Okay. Okay. Hey, why not? It's a world. It's a world of imagination and dreams. Why not? Yeah, it might that actually could work. In this world is a little different from the real world. So after they all said goodbye to each other, Grady and Big Papa left the gas station and started down to Matthew Mark Avenue. Back at the Cola Mart, in the head manager's office upstairs was a tan brown rabbit in a purple sorcerer outfit with a golden staff with a devil head on it. Uh oh. You know that's a bad guy there if he got a devil head on his staff. He was watching Granny and Big Papa in his magic crystal ball. The witch that sent Naomi into the Cola Mart earlier was there with him. I'm a I'm afraid I can't let you find your grandson or his friends, said the rabbit. Instead, I'll give you a free vacation. Where are you sending them? Asked the witch, smirking. The rabbit held his staff toward the crystal ball and replied, It all, de- it all depends on where my warp sends them, but I guarantee it won't be pleasant. The eyes on his staff glowed, along with the crystal ball. In seconds, Granny and Big Papa, along with their car, was sucked up into a warp vortex. The rabbit smiled in his success and said to the witch, Make sure that Hiko and his friends don't escape, and eliminate that puppy when he arrives. Uh, I am not a puppy. I'm 21. Oh boy, yeah. Emily don't like being called a kitty cat. Brownie don't like it when you call him a puppy. Because he's 21, dang it. The grown he's a well young, but he's grown though. And a firefighter. Chapter 8. Over over on a pole outside the head manager's office. Samuel woke up and found himself tied to it. The witch came out the office and slowly approached him. Hmm, I'm going to take a wild guess and say you must be one of the villains in this world, said Samuel. Is that so? The witch said sarcastically. And how do you know that, genius? If you weren't the villain, you wouldn't have me tied up like this, said Samuel. And how are you sure your so-called friends aren't behind this? Asked the witch again. They wouldn't do something like this to me, especially Hiko, replied Samuel. We've been friends since kindergarten. Really? Said the witch. Well, what about the other girls you met today before me? How do you know they're not villains? I just do. Stop trying to play hit games with me. Who are you and what do you want? Well, Mr. Right and Justice, I'll tell you my name when I come back. Since you had to get all attitude with me, I don't think I want to tell you right now. The witch vanished and Samuel yelled, Hey! Get back here, you villainous fiend! Said Samuel. You hear me? Get back here right now! The witch appeared in front of the display of 24 count bottled water packs near the exit door. I gotta get me some more bottled water too. And when she saw the Ultra Cat figure still holding Hiko and Naomi flying from a distance, she said, Water release and form a tidal wave to attack the heroes like a bear from a cave. The water exploded from the bottles and became a tidal wave that struck the Ultra Cat figure. This caused them to malfunction and drop Hiko and Naomi, sort of like electronic toys back in the day. Hiko quickly held Naomi close. Then he noticed some packaged bean bags on a nearby shelf and said, Exploding cushions! The bean bags burst out their packaging and immediately expanded to catch Hiko and Naomi. This allowed them to safely land to the floor. Hiko stood up and helped Naomi stand. Are you okay? He asked. Yes, I am, Naomi replied. Thank you again. Then she kissed his cheek. Hiko blushed again, saying, You're very welcome. Oh, isn't that cute? Said the witch sarcastically. Ah. On that note, the Ultra Cat figure crashed on the floor and broke. Ultra Cat! Shouted Hiko and Naomi. Calm down, losers, said the witch, rolling her eyes. And she blasted the figure to dust. Then she blasted the bean bags, causing the expanded polyester beams inside to become a dusty mist in the air. The dust temporarily blinded Hiko and Naomi. Once they cleared their eyes to see, they noticed the witch had teleported them outside the store, including Samuel, who was no longer tied up. Samuel, are you okay? Asked Hiko. Yeah, I will be, replied Samuel angrily. Then he pointed at the witch and said, No thanks to this manipulative psychoanalyst she-devil. Hmm. That is quite a vocabulary, said the witch in a mocking tone. I should get a dictionary to understand what you just said. Then she put on some reading glasses and made a dictionary appear in her hand. She looked up manipulative and mimicked Samuel's voice as she read out loud. Manipulative, as as an adjective, it means characterized by unscrupulous control of a situation or person. In a sentence, you would say that she was sly, selfish, and manipulative. As a verb, it says, Enough messing around, interrupted Hiko. Who are you and what do you want with me and my friends? The witch made the glasses and dictionary vanish and replied, Well, excuse me for having an educational moment. Trying to teach the kids something and y'all getting all mad at me. Just can't please nobody. My name is Chenise Harper, and I'm only carrying out the orders of my boss. I can't tell you his master plans now, But one day you will find out. However, depending on what you choose after finding out his plans will determine if you survive or not. Well, why don't you tell us now? Demanded Hiko. You don't listen very well, do you? Like I said, one day you will find out. You now understand the words coming out of my mouth, said Chenise. It is my boss's decision, and I if I were you, I'd be more focused on your survival right here first. Chenise snapped her fingers, making a giant zombie slowly emerge out the ground. She laughed, saying, "Good luck with this." After that, she vanished. Oh boy. I just looked at myself on the screen, the way my eyes got when I did that evil laugh. But first thing came to my mind was Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince. Oh boy. Oh boy. Sometimes sometimes I get so into what I be doing. Sometimes I scare myself. Chapter 9. The giant zombie wasn't as big as the hat monster that Brownie and Gerald faced earlier, but it was 10 feet taller than the golden buffalo in Big Papa's dream and just as threatening. The zombie had 4 arms, like the zombies from earlier, he had teeth in his eye sockets. And that the teeth, when I say teeth in the eye sockets, yeah. So the zombie, like you see my eyes right here, but the zombie, you would it would just be like a black void in his eyes with teeth. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty. Now that really be scary. That I saw that in a nightmare once. I had a nightmare one time as a kid at my mom's school. I was looking for my mom. I was like, and I went to a janitor. I said, "Excuse me, have you seen my mom?" The janitor turned around, and that's the way his eyes looked. There were teeth where his eyes should be. And I was like, yeah, that scared the heck out of me. So the just as he was almost out of the ground, Samuel got an idea. He quickly took some rocks and, like a baseball, threw them at the zombie's forehead. The zombie howled in pain as he stood up. Hey, Samuel, I don't think that was a good idea, said Hiko. But don't worry, he'll fall down, and then we'll be able to finish him off like David did Goliath, said Samuel. However, the zombie didn't fall down. Instead, he picked up the rocks and threw them at everybody, and they quickly jumped out the way. That didn't work like I thought it would, said Samuel. That's because Goliath wasn't a zombie with teeth in his eyes, said Hiko. The kids dodged the zombie again as he swung his arms to grab them, but he swung again and managed to grab them. He held them high and laughed creepily as they screamed. And just when it seemed like the end, the zombie's legs were bitten by Paper Eater and Spacebite, causing him to throw the kids in the air. Then the kids quickly started falling toward the ground, but their fall was slowed down, and they noticed Mr. Fluffles levitating them so they could land safely using his psychic powers. Quickly, children, we must get to safety. Okay. They all cleared the distance from the parking lot as the zombie rose back up. Brownie and Gerald steered Paper Eater and Spacebite in position to battle. The zombie swung his hands again to grab the planes, but he missed. Time to shock it to you, said Brownie. He had Paper Eater fire an electric blast, stunning the zombie, but he absorbed it and fired the blast from his mouth back at Paper Eater. Hang on, Brownie, said Gerald. He had Spacebite quickly deflect the blast with a heavy stream of water, but both the water and electricity went into the mouth. Now with all that water, it's time to chill. Then Gerald had Spacebite freeze the zombie into a huge block of ice. Now for the burning finish, exclaimed Brownie. He had Paper Eater fire a stream of fire engulfing the zombie. Good idea, said Gerald. Just like the hat, he'll disintegrate into ashes. Unfortunately, the zombie broke out of the ice and absorbed the fire. Then he fired all of it as boiling hot water mixed with a hailstorm of tennis ball sized chunks of dry ice at Paper Eater in space by knocking them out the sky and crashing to the ground. I thought that would work, said Gerald. It doesn't look like it did, said Brownie. The zombie slowly but angrily approached them. Hiko quickly looked at the ice on the ground and the zombie's eye sockets, and he got an idea. Mr. Fluffles, young ones. Oh, Mr. Fluffles, is there any way we could throw these chunks of ice into the zombie's eye sockets? Yes, there is, said Mr. Fluffles. On that note, Mr. Fluffles used his psychic powers to levitate the chunks of ice to go into the zombie's eye sockets. The zombie howled in pain as Mr. Fluffles said to Brownie and Gerald in their minds, now, guys, try aiming your attacks together at the eye sockets. Gotcha, Brownie and Gerald said together. There was some small struggling for the planes to get up due to their earlier damages, but Brownie and Gerald were able to get them into the air. Then they fired a barrage of missiles into the zombie's eye sockets. Eventually, the zombie exploded into pieces, and Brownie quickly had Paper Eater burn all the pieces to dust. After that, they landed the planes near Mr. Fluffles and the kids and exited the cockpits. Brownie said, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. There's nothing more left because he burnt to rust. Great thinking, Sensei. Thank you. Yes. Yes, thanks. Thank you indeed, said Gerald. No problem, said Mr. Fluffles. But it was your friend Hikoji that placed the ideal in my head. A wise observation came from a young mind today. Well, thank you. Well, thank you as well, Hikoji, said Gerald. Hey, you're welcome, said Hiko. You can just call me Hiko. Well, we're really proud of you, Hiko, said Brownie. And all of you, welcome to Yumeko. Man, this is an awesome first adventure, said Samuel. You can say that again, said Hiko. And the next adventure might be your last, bellowed a voice. And the final chapter, chapter 10, the sky was filled with storm clouds as thunder rumbled and lightning flashed. Everyone looked around to see where the voice came from until a bolt of lightning struck the nearby gas truck. Everyone jumped clear of the explosion in time, and as the smoke cleared, two shadows emerged, slowly approached them. Eventually, it was revealed to be Chenise and the rabbit from earlier. Ha! Frederick Fluffleson Campbell, said the rabbit. Plus your top student, Barnhart hero, and best firefighter, Brownie B. Brown. Hey, who are you and how do you know us? Asked Mr. Fluffles. The rabbit smirked as he answered. I am Ramon Ramon. Then he placed his hand on Chenise's shoulder and said, and I'm sure you've already met one of my students. Brownie growled as he said, how could I possibly forget that little witch? Aw, are you angry that I tried to make your show more interesting? Said Chenise in a sarcastic tone. My programming would have made you popular. Your programming severely hurt my live audience, said Brownie, especially bringing that movie Hollow-Vision to life. Sometimes you have to suffer to raise your ratings, my pet, said Chenise. I am not your pet, shouted Brownie. Then he faced Ramon and said, now, back to you. How do you know us and what do you want? Patience, Brownie, said Ramon. I'm sure your sensei taught you something about that. However, I will inform you that the grandparents of your friend Hiko are here. Where are my grandparents? Demanded Hiko. You're going to have to find them, said Ramon, holding up his staff. As it glowed, the thunder rumbled louder and lightning flashed more ferociously. Eventually, a vortex opened, sucking up Mr. Fluffles, Brownie, Gerald, Hiko, Naomi, and Samuel into it. Ramon and Chenise laughed evilly as he said, and now the game begins. Yeah, there's Ramon there. Yeah, you don't want to mess with this guy. Yep. That is the first book. Special thanks to Jesus Christ, his Father, Jehovah God, and all my supporting family and friends for everything that helped me make this book and many more to come. Yep. And as you, oh, got something fell on my arm there. And as you stated, EJ, it's not so much important that like, well, what did Jesus look like? Well, what color was Jesus? Now, what's important is that we know Jesus is real. He exists. He died for our sins, and through Him we are saved. That's what's most important. So, yep. So, yeah, you see all kind of images of Jesus, but as long as we know what's important, yeah, yeah, that's maybe. Okay, just checking message. So yeah, that's it for that's it. Oh, one thing I want to say about that last scene in the last chapter, real quick. Um, when Chenise told Brownie about what she did on his talk show, and Brownie was like, "You, uh, yep, indeed, yeah." And Brownie said, "Well, you almost hurt my audience and stuff like that." That's a reference to um, back in 2020, Brownie React when Brownie used to react to movies on the old channel there. Brownie Reacts, and one of the ones that came on his show was Mal from Descendants, and she was like, "Don't." He was like, he was trying to. She told him to watch the Scooby Doo live action movie to torture him back then because I had a different mindset about Scooby Doo back then. So yeah, so she was trying to torture Brownie with it and said, "Don't you want to be popular like other YouTubers?" Mm. Yep. So yeah, that's kind of what that's a reference to there. It was actually a certain YouTuber that she mentioned, but I'm not going to mention him here. Yeah. So yeah, that's what that was a reference to there. So yeah, so like I say, that's it with this book. Next tomorrow be the Bible reading live stream. I'm gonna get together my thumbnail and everything so I can like what chapters I'm gonna be reading for tomorrow. Wednesday night. Yep. And Thursday we'll be looking at the second book. We're looking at the second book. We're reading it, and of course that means next week. Next week will be dum, 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 the Supreme Star Striker. That'll be coming next week. Yeah, next week. Your boy Star Striker. So, but that's what it's gonna be. That's how we're gonna do it. So yeah, to everybody, including whoever's watching this on the replay, definitely like, share, subscribe. Definitely get our available books. What we're reading in these streams. Get these books. Put your order in for it. Matter of fact, we got one. We already got our first buyer. We got our first buyer. I got it. I got her recorded in my phone. She's our florist at Kroger. The matter of fact, she actually got the first book when it first came out, One reason why, because she's like, Gabe, you got quite a mind there. So that's what. So she was interested to see what I wrote, and now she is order. She is putting an order for book number 2 and 3. She wants 2 copies of each one. So yeah, we got so that's our first order. Yep. Mm-hmm. So put them orders in that way. That way I can get it all together and send out for them. Send out for the books and everything, and get them to you guys, and so on and so on. Yeah, and then also definitely for everybody watching on the replay, support us on that Patreon. Yes, just like the Patreons we got, like DJ the Supreme, Big Sis Casey, and Iceman Universe, as well as also our Miracle Crew, also EJ and Big Sis Casey, and Queen Tina. Check out all their channels too. Both our Miracle Crew and our Patreons. See what all they got going on them channels. EJ got some new skits coming and everything. He's gonna be more live streams and short skits, all kind of good stuff. I don't know it all, but it's coming. Just tune in so you can see it. Check out Casey and Queen Tina. Iceman Universe got Hey Arnold, Ed and Eddie, and Naruto and One Piece he reacted to. It's a movies. Yeah, so definitely do that. And also, just like you're hanging out with us on the live stream, definitely hang out with us Discord and on Facebook. And also, let's tell each other some stuff in the McCary app. And I don't if anybody's been to the McCary app now and they're like, hey Gabe, or don't you have that Dragon Megatron and the binoculars up there yet? I forgot to put them in there, but I will as soon as I can. They've been quite a bit. Like I said, I kind of slipped my mind, but I will get a picture of them and get them on the McCary app so you have to check it out. Like, hey Gabe, I want that Dragon Megatron and the binoculars. So yeah, definitely check it out and sell some of your stuff on McCary. Get you a little extra money. And we will definitely close this out and see y'all in the next video. And there'll definitely be some more stuff with Brownie and his friends coming too, just like him doing the Fresh Prince. So be on the lookout for that. And until then, see you in the next video tomorrow for the Bible reading. Peace out.